All right. All right. Let's make sure I'm live. Okay, I'm live. Wait, hold up. Am I live? Here we go. Yup. Let's go. All right. All right, what's going on, everybody? Great day. Happy Saturday. Day six. Day six of the 90 days of value. First 5 days have been amazing. I appreciate the support. Got um, thousands of views, at this point, and appreciate you guys for tuning in. If you don't know who I am, if this is your first time watching uh, this series, my name is Mr. Kingdom Cash Charles Dyson, 39 years old. 10 children, have not worked a job since April of 2013, and my joy is found in helping people just like you watching this video discover how you can make money at a higher level and experience freedom at a higher level. All my children are homeschooled. They're safe with me. I take pride in that, given everything that's going on. It was just a school shooting scare less than 3 miles from where I live last school year. So um, it's important for my children to be home with me um, and safe with me. So I don't have to ever worry about what's going on with my children, right? So I take pride in that. Um, but my mission is to help people just like you understand how you can take control of your finances. For the last literally 18 years, um, I dedicated my life to be the one in my family that takes care of my generation's 300, 400 years into the future, right? In 2012, I wrote a 30-year plan, right? A 30-year plan. I just entered year 13, or about to enter next month, year 13 of that 30-year plan. And I'm happy to say I'm ahead of schedule. Um, Most people don't think ahead to the weekend, right? They don't think past the weekend. But I discovered that all successful people, right, governments, billionaires, your favorite actors and actresses, your favorite comedians, your favorite sports players, they plan their life years into the future. And if you plan on being successful, then you need to develop a plan for your life, or you will be the leverage someone else uses to plan their life, right? So this is what I do. This is what I teach. This is what I mentor people and how I educate people and get them thinking bigger, get them thinking clearer, get them on a path for their life, and show them that it can be simple, right? It can be very simple. It doesn't have to be hard. This don't have to take forever. That's what I tell my students all the time, right? Financial elevation does not have to take forever. All information is not created equal. And when you get powerful information and you execute, things can change in a hurry, right? And I'm a living, walking witness of that. I have more responsibility than 99% of the people that I talk to. And if I can do it with a wife and 7 kids at the time when I began this path, and now with 10 children, if I can do it, anybody under my voice, you can do the same thing. All right. So that was a long introduction, but today, earning globally versus earning locally. That's the topic for today. And the reason why I chose this topic again, when it comes to success, when it comes to business, think about your favorite brands. Let's just talk about the ones who operate at a high level, right? The ones who have made billionaire status. Let's talk about the Jay-Z's, the Beyoncés, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Rihannas, the Kanyes. um, global brands, individuals that have built and leveraged themselves to global brands. Let's talk about um, Carrie Underwood. Let's talk about um, Garth. Well, let's not talk about Garth. He's getting a little bit of controversy right now. Let's talk about you know, the ones that have built themselves into global brands. Their profitability would not be the same if they did not have the name recognition globally. Um, I'm intentional about building my brand globally, right? I'm happy to say that I have a lot of followers and business partners and students who live in Australia, who live in Ghana, who live in Uganda, South Africa, um, in these countries around the world, in England, um, in Europe, South America, the Caribbean. This thing that you're watching me on is a very, very, very powerful tool. And what I tell my students is the social network I like the most is actually YouTube. Yes, it's a social network, right? It The difference between YouTube and everything else is YouTube is the second most visited website in the world behind Google. And Google happens to own YouTube. I think that's pretty powerful. So when I began building my brand in 2012, right, I knew that. I thought about that, right? And this is why I decided to market myself in video. And another thing that all those people, all those billionaires have in common is they are seen. I said this in previous videos, but leaders, influencers are always 100% of the time seen, heard, and felt. The ones that do it at a high level are seen. Not only do you know their name, but you see them visually on video in multiple different locations, in multiple different places. They're heard. They always have a message, either through art or through interviews, right? But they are at top of mind. They are seen consistently and they are felt. They tap into emotions, right? The best brands are able to tap into emotions. You know Apple as the company as it is today because in the 1980s, when they started their brand, they tapped into emotions. And if you look at their commercials, right, when they launch a product, most times the commercial taps into an emotion rather than sell the product. The product is attached to an emotion, right? And so these are the things about branding and marketing that I understand intimately, right? Which is why I've been able to, with followings way smaller than other influencers that you know, I've been able to make hundreds of thousands of dollars from understanding these principles and with a far smaller following. I mean, I'm doing pretty good. My YouTube channel has 36,000 subscribers around the world, right? I have Facebook groups that I own that amount to close to 100,000 people that I can touch and they can hear me and get my message when I post video, right? So I'm speaking from a position of actually doing and practicing what I'm teaching. And what I want you guys to understand is when it comes to earning potential, you want to build globally. Can you be successful building locally? Yes. Do I suggest that you build locally? And when I say build, let me define what I mean. What I mean when I say build is build you, build your brand, not any particular company, not marketing any particular product, but you as a person, as an individual, right? Building your brand, who you are, getting people to know your name, the name Dyson, because of me and what I've done and what I've built over the last 13 years. The name Dyson is known all over the world, right? And I want to add to this that the first 5 years of my business career, I did not make a single dollar. 5 years, multiple different things that I tried, multiple different things that I attempted to do, resulted in not making a single dollar. But those 5 years I did grow, and I don't discount those 5 years. What I tell my students though is, if you had a choice between making money while growing or learning lessons, making no money and growing, which one would you choose? Right? There are things that I learned that helped me, right? But the difference between those first 5 years and then at everything that happened from 2012 on in my business career and my life financially, the only difference was I had a mentor in 2012 that helped me and instructed me, and I leveraged myself off of a job in 6 months, off of 3 jobs in 6 months. I was able to drop all those jobs and made more money than I've ever made my entire life during those 6 months. Only difference was I had a mentor. The first 5 years, I didn't have a mentor. I was doing things on my own, throwing stuff against the wall and seeing what stick, and nothing was sticking, right? So that's the value of instruction. That's the value of traveling a path with someone who already went down the path. That's the value of having instruction. Hey, do it this way, don't do it that way. If you do it this way, these are the results you can expect. If you do it that way, you're going to mess up here, here, and here, right? That type of instruction and leadership is invaluable. The only shortcut that exists in life is mentorship. But back to the original point. Let me close the loop, okay? Earning globally versus earning locally. Can you make great money when you are building in your own backyard, in your own pond? Can you make great money? Yes. Yes, you can. But I tell you this much. If you leverage globally, that's how you get wealthy. That's how you start to grow financially and exponentially. Because when you're asleep, the other side of the world is awake. So if you have a system that you can leverage that is global, and you have people within that system that when they work for themselves, it benefits you financially. And while you're sleeping, they're on the other side of the world building their business, which makes you money. Are you understanding? Because if you build locally, what happens? Well, everybody's awake at the same time, and everybody sleeps at the same time. So there's an 8-hour window where your business is closed. Right? Now, again, can you make money locally? Yes. And when I say locally, I mean North America. I don't mean your city. Okay? I'm trying to get you to think bigger. I'm not talking about your neighborhood, your county. I'm not talking about your city locally. I'm talking about North America locally. Canada, United States, Mexico, right? Talking about the Western Hemisphere locally, right? When you go to sleep, everybody goes to sleep, right? And that means your business is closed 8 hours a day, right? Again, I'm gonna make the point a third time. Can you make money building a business that way? Yes, yes, you can. All I'm saying is what I've learned and what the principles I have applied, thinking globally, helped me tremendously, 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 exponentially better results because I was thinking globally. I had trying to find a way to say this nicely. Um, let's just put it like this. I had a person that I knew intimately tell me that ignorantly tell me that I shouldn't focus on building my business in Africa. And I had to let her know, Africa is a continent, not a country, a continent. I'm not cutting off a continent, billions of people because of your ignorance and your prejudice, not doing it. And I'm so happy I was wise enough not to do that, right? Because I built some great relationships with friends all over Africa, right? Some students that are having amazing success in Africa. I just got a message yesterday from an individual. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want people to flood his inbox, but he lives in Uganda. One of my students, absolutely changing his life based on what I taught him. And now he has 3 students, right? A brother of his that's 13 years old, a friend of his, and his mother. And because of what I taught him, now their lives are changing. That's the power of the technology we're on right now. That's the power of YouTube, right? And let me get back to that point. Let me close that loop. The reason why I love YouTube the most, YouTube is the only social network on the planet that when you post something on it, you're guaranteed to get views. I don't care what you post. You post a video on YouTube, somebody's going to watch it. That's a very big difference between YouTube and everything else, right? So yeah, I push my students to use YouTube because it's a very, very powerful tool. It's the second most visited website in the world. That's another thing that separates YouTube from everything else. More viewership, more viewership. I want you to start looking at your social media as your TV station. And whatever you post is a part of your brand. Think more intentional about what you're doing on social media. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. And if it wasn't for this reason, you would not see me. I'm here for one reason and one reason only. And that is to make a larger impact in the lives of other people as a content creator, bringing more notoriety and more business relationships to accomplish the goals that I have. And we can help each other, leverage each other, and win together. That's the only reason I'm on this video right now. That's the only reason I'm doing this 90 days of value, right? Yeah, I want to give value. I want to help people, but I want something in return. I want some more business relationships. I want some more followers. I want some more viewership. I wanted that to lead to more business. Everything's intentional with what I do. Remember, I developed a 30-year plan, intentional. I built the brand, intentional, right? I'm building relationships, intentional. I understand that money comes through relationships. If you want more money, get higher quality relationships. You got a high quality relationship you could build right now. The person's talking to you. Intentional. If you are intentional about getting rich and getting wealthy, guess what's going to happen? You'll get rich. You'll get wealthy. Build globally. Intentional. Intentional. Right? But watch this. Here's the last point I want to make. This is an abundance mentality. Don't ever forget this. I titled this Facebook Live Building Locally versus Building Globally. Intentionally. Because most people think in either or. But from this point forward, I want you thinking and both. You don't have to choose. You could do both at the same exact time. Because that's exactly what I did. I built locally and I built globally. Intentional. Intentional. You don't have to choose. You don't have to choose. You can earn locally and you can earn globally. You can do both at the same exact time. You can do both at the same exact time. That's my message for today. Think both. You don't have to choose. You never have to choose. You can do it all. You can do it all at the same exact time. And you can change your life and leverage yourself very well because of it. I'm going to say this again. All information is not created equal. There are things that you can do that are hard, very hard. I've done them. I'm telling you right now. And although I was successful in it, it was hard. I'm not going to lie to you. The way my mind works, I find things that are common sense, that just make sense. And when people hear it, they're attracted to it. And because they want it and they get it through me, I actually make great commissions and leverage myself higher. And it's in perpetuity because it's residual. Residual, right? And both. You don't have to choose. Earn locally and earn globally. Ladies and gentlemen, if you got something from this, do me a favor, like this, heart it, share it. Other people need to hear it. And more importantly, I want you to comment below what you learned, right? Tell me what you think. If you disagree, tell me. Put it in the comment section. I really appreciate the engagement. And guys, like I said, I'm very honest in my videos. I'm looking for more partners. I'm looking for more people who think the way I think, who are on the right frequency, who want to elevate, who are intentional about building great relationships. I've created some of the best relationships from videos just like this, from inbox messages. One inbox message made me hundreds of thousands of dollars, right? One inbox message that I just recently received is about to make me millions of dollars, right? Because of the relationship that we forged in the industry that we partnered in, right? So I got a lot of great information. I'm willing to share it, but hey, listen, you can't be lazy. Let me say that right now, right? You can't be lazy. Although the work I do is easy, it does require work. I don't lie about the work. The work is simple, the work is easy, but it's still work. So if you have that mentality, you want to make money, you want to leverage, you want to make it in an easier way, you want to communicate and grow, you want to communicate and that lead to commissions, you want to communicate and it actually increases you, right? And by communicate, I mean just use the resources that I've created. I create resources to make it easier for other people. If that sounds intriguing, if that sounds interesting, ladies and gentlemen, get my attention. Comment below. Let's have a conversation. Inbox me, DM me, add me as a friend. Get my attention. Let's have a conversation. Let's see how we can help each other, right? And if it makes sense, we can partner and we can make great money together. I've done this over and over and over and over again. I've helped people retire in less than 12 months every single year, multiple people, hundreds of people at this point. From 2017 till right now, I've helped people retire in less than a year based on the information that I have. It would be my pleasure to work with you as well. So here's what I tell people. I know if I could shift your perspective, even if it's just a little bit, I can help you change your life. Everybody have a great Saturday. See you tomorrow at 12. 90 Days of Value. Peace.